We'll be live.
Serving Shaitan with a smile every week, every day, actually. 365, man. Like, we don't stop, you know? That's one of those things when you
That's
serve
what we
Shaitan.
do. That's what we do. Hi, guys. So we have a video from Ali Dawa today that we want to highlight. Ali Dawa is angry from...
Oh, no.
Yeah. The Nas Daily just came out and said a couple of things and posted a couple of tweets on Twitter. Do you know Nas Daily? It's a very, very famous content creator.
So
and Ali Dawa be mad.
Yeah, I do not know this individual. He apparently is growing in popularity. Just a mere almost 13 million subscribers on YouTube alone. So a small channel, oh no,
he's big.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Pretty massive. Yeah. Pretty massive. Yeah.
And he's Muslim and he's Arab.
Okay.
So you can imagine him coming out and standing with Israel would be huge.
I could see
one of the one of the largest Arab content creators in the world, if not the largest, actually, I think.
Really?
Arab content creator. Yeah, I think so. I mean, I might not. Yeah, coming out and saying that he stands with Israel.
Wow.
Especially somebody that a lot of Muslims kind of celebrated as somebody who says nice things about Islam and sometimes comes out and defends Islam. The fact that he now came out and said something against something in defense of Israel got so many people pissed.
Really?
So,
I'm sure
Ali Dawa here.
I'm sure what Nas Daily says, okay, just to be fair to all those people, I'm sure what Nas Daily says is something very egregious, you know, is a very unreasonable stance, you know, to something that would warrant so much hatred and anger, right? I'm sure he doesn't just say something like, you know, the Jewish people have a right to exist or something. I'm sure that's not what it is. I'm sure it must be ridiculous. So.
We'll see. This is going to be one of those. This is going to be very fun. I think you're going to really enjoy this video because Ali Dawa is not holding back. This is one of those most entertaining videos I've seen from Ali Dawa. So we'll see. Yeah. So Susie is here. I see that. Norman is here. Asian American, and music lover. Guys, please in the live chat, let us know that you're here so we could see you guys and we could engage with you guys while we go through this video. Oh, hey, Laughs Buzz is here saying salam. Hello. All right, so let's see. Let's watch this. It starts very aggressive right at the beginning. So let's watch this.
You coward, you scum.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Starting off real strong, Ali Dawa. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Man, I don't even again, folks, he edited that, you know, like he had the idea. He then filmed himself. He then put it all together and then stepped back from all of that and was like, yep, that's the best way to start this criticism of this person. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, the level of nuance you could see in this can.
Well, it's a strong point, Ollie. I don't really have a good rebuttal to that getting spat on thing. My God.
Yeah, one more time. We have to watch this. Okay. I want to watch this a couple of times. I don't know why.
You coward, you scum! I will spit in your face that if I could see you.
and he does that and then instantly it's like I'd spit in your face if I could see you. Like I don't know where you are, man. I can't get anywhere close to you or anything.
I love that they took the time to make sure to edit the spit into the one more time. I'm sorry, guys. One more time.
Coward, you scum.
Okay, this is beautiful. This is just beautiful. This is the most. This is the best I've seen from Ali Dawa ever. Okay. Well, let's see what Nas Daily has said that warrants this. Yeah, right. So let's.
I will spit in your face that if I could see you face to face. Israel first, Palestinian second. You are a monarchic first and a scum second, and then a third. You're an Israeli.
So that's the tweet.
You coward, you scum. I will spit in your face that if I could see you face to face.
So this is the part. This is the part that they hate. So he's Israeli first, Palestinian second. I mean, what he's Israeli. He has Israeli citizenship. He's an Arab. Nas Daily is an Arab that is born in Israel, and he's an Israeli citizen. And he's saying that I'm Israeli first, and he's a Palestinian second. I would say, I mean, he's not he doesn't have Palestinian citizenship, but because he's Arab, they call themselves Palestinians.
Interesting.
You know, even though he's not Palestinian, but I could see why at least he says Palestinian second.
Sure.
I mean, he doesn't. I mean, his family are Palestinian, right? He comes. He's from that area is called Palestine, but he has Israeli citizenship. So obviously he's Israeli first. Yeah. He's telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. So
that's just.
By the way, this kind of shows how demonstrate how Israel has Arabs who are proud of being Israelis.
Oh, you know, well, I'm sure
this is something a lot of people don't know. Israel has Muslims and Arabs happy to be Israeli, proud of being Israeli. And this is demonstrating. This is just one example, but I could give you more.
Well, I'm sure you've got an equivalency in like Gaza, for instance, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Armin, I'm sure there is a political party in Gaza that is openly Jewish and pro-Israel, right? I'm sure that exists, doesn't it?
No, I don't. I do not have that. Oops. I do not have that. I'm sorry.
Well,
I do have something else that is interesting. So let me. I mean, there's a lot of examples like this, but I always have to show you this one. Right? Look at this. This is the idea of bragging about this. Right? This is Israeli soldiers. One Jewish, one Muslim. This is a Muslim Arab Israeli who is fighting for his country as an Arab, as a Muslim. Okay, so just keep that in mind the next time you say something like this. Well, look at this. I want to highlight this.
And
look at this.
Yeah,
Rehan posted this in the comment section, right? First of all, how dare you? Get your facts right. It's not. He's calling us daily Israeli apologists. It's weekly.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're watching us from.
Yeah.
Daily?
Although maybe
our show is weekly.
Maybe Rehan is just rewatching our show every day. Like that seems an odd way to hate us, but like, hey, go for it, man. We appreciate the views. So
yeah.
But yeah, imagine that, folks. Imagine being somebody who takes the time to post a comment, right, where you equate Nazism, just remember this, which had at its core the genocide of Jewish people, with defending the state of Israel. Imagine equating those two things and thinking like, I made a good point, you guys. You know, it's very. You could have said fascism, by the way, Rehan. Like, not trying to like, give you a better way to criticize us, but that's a better way.
I mean, I think Rehan has a good point. I mean, I remember just like in Israel, where we have Arabs serving at the Knesset, at their parliament.
Right.
I remember back in in World War II, the Nazis had Jews, in their parliament as politicians. I remember that very clearly.
They had coalition governments, did they?
Yeah, no, remember, just like in Israel, when you had like Arab parties building a coalition to form a government. I remember Hitler one time said, like, guys, we don't have enough votes. We need to build a coalition with the Jewish party to be able to form a government. I remember that exactly happening during World War II.
We put that whole Third Reich thing on hold for a little bit. Like, yes, technically the world is still being controlled by a Zionist plot, but like, we'll just pause all that just so that we can join up with it. Yeah. You know what? Maybe my history is a little fuzzy these days, but anyway. Thanks for your views, Rehan. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Asian American. Using our his 22-month membership to saying Koreans and Irish are pro-Palestine. No, Asian American, that is correct, because you're talking about entire groups of people, and you cannot generalize an entire group's members of an entire country like that. So that is wrong.
I'm sure there's some
but anyways,
Koreans
let's
and
continue.
Irish people that
Yeah. But let's continue.
Israel first, Palestinians second. You are a munafiq first and a scum second, and then a third, you're an Israeli.
By the way, munafiq, for people who don't know, munafiq Islamically is somebody who acts like they're Muslim, says that they're Muslim, but in their heart, they're not really a Muslim. They're lying about being a Muslim. Okay? I guess Islamically, Ali Dawa, let me teach you Islam, because you're supposed to be a Muslim that teaches Islam online. And me as an atheist know Islam much better than you do. So let me tell this, Ali. Ali, you're not supposed to know who is a munafiq, because you cannot see in people's hearts. Learn Islam, you idiots. How do you not know Islam? How do I, as an atheist, know Islam more than you? Only Allahu Alam, Ali Dawa. Only Allah knows what's in people's hearts. How dare you call somebody munafiq? You don't know for sure if they are actually a Muslim or they're pretending. Go learn your Islam, Ali, or maybe come talk to me. I will teach you Islam.
This is why, by the way, folks, this is why you need to subscribe and watch our videos here, okay? Because not only do we give you the best understanding of secularism and liberalism, but we actually will teach you about religion too. Like, we'll give you the truth of it. So,
yeah. Yeah, and even if you're a Muslim, come here, because we teach you proper Islam, and we do it in the most entertaining way, like unlike these boring guys.
Wow, the spit.
Yeah, with this, but that's you're right. This one is actually entertaining. So I think he's going to do a commercial right now. Let's see.
Just imagine the people back in the day.
Yeah.
They would have to travel certain distances for months or even years. What is one thing that they would carry with them? The Quran. Why? Because they did not have it on their mobile devices and their gadgets. Brothers and sisters.
What?
I just can't go much further because it's already really bad. Like, it's just he's acting very much as if like he's trying really hard to like make a commercial, you know, and it feels forced. It feels hokey. It's just bad. It's just a bad commercial. And yeah, anyway, I'm laughing at that. Yeah. So, but I love that he just keeps getting a reminder, like, read the Quran. Like, do you not remember that that's what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to pray 5 times a day, Ali. Do you just forget?
Well, let's go.
Okay,
let's go through this part fast. But I just want to mention that seems like the fact that the Quran in app format is better than the book itself, because it doesn't come with reminders, shows that Allah's Quran was not as good originally. Now that it's an app format that gives you the reminders to read it, it's an improvement. So humans have made, even if the Quran is useful, humans have managed to make the Quran better with the app format, which kind of suggests that the Quran was not in the best form that it could have.
That's a really good point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
Oh. By the way, Noman, give us a super chat saying this SHIT is too funny anyways. Love you guys. Thank you, Noman, for the super chat. Let's continue.
Imagine you have a app, the Qurani app, which not only shows you how much rewards you get, but reminds you to read the Quran, gives you reminders. Download the Qurani app now and let it testify for you on Yawm al-Qiyamah that you read it wherever you was.
Last thing, I swear, I just really like the thought, like when he was in the car, that was the best part. I really like the thought that he's about to like drive somewhere, and right before he has to go on this journey, he's just like, wait a second, I gotta read the Quran for a few. It's just really dumb. It's just dumb. Yeah. It's just dumb. Oh God, you're better at the YouTube videos, Ali. Just stick with that. Oh my God.
But reminds you to read the Quran, gives you reminders. Download the Qurani app now and let it testify for you on Yawm al-Qiyamah that you read it wherever you was.
All right, guys. So this is Luna, and we're gonna see, how obedient he is when he's given a biscuit, as you can see. No, no, sit. Sit. Whoa, sit. Sit. Good.
No, it's all right.
Okay. So that's a female dog. And as you can see, we came to his owner and asked for permission. He gave us a biscuit. You can see how much he has loyalty to his owner, his master that looks after him. So much so that as a random person who had a biscuit, he even listened to me when I said sit down. That's the loyalty of a dog. But not every.
Didn't he start off by saying this is a female dog? Did I mishear that?
I don't know. This I want to get to. Okay, I don't want to spend. I want to get to the Nas Daily part. Yeah. I don't. He's just making his own. Weird part. Yeah, but
every person is loyal as a dog, and some dogs are better than some human beings. Like Nas. This is what.
So he's saying he's criticizing Nas Daily for not being loyal like a dog.
It's a female dog, and as you can see, we came to his owner and asked for permission. He gave us a biscuit. You can see how much he has loyalty to his owner, his master that looks after him. So much so that as a random person who had a biscuit, he even listened to me when I said sit down. That's the loyalty of a dog. But not every person is loyal as a dog, and some dogs are better than some human beings. Like Nas.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm very confused here because it sounds like he's saying he's like praising dogs for their loyalty. But the example that he gave was me, a random stranger with a biscuit. The dog listens to me, but he's praising the dog for being loyal to his owner. I just seriously don't understand. Does he recognize what he's saying?
It does. He's not really thinking much. I mean, that's Ali Dawa. He's okay. So he's just trying to say you're worse than a dog, and he's just trying to somehow put that in his script. It's not working very well for him,
right?
Because I mean, I don't really want it because
clever.
No, he's not very clever because technically this loyalty is being loyal to somebody who's giving you a biscuit.
Right.
So wouldn't that mean like you being loyal to whoever is giving you wealth or money or something? Right. Like, is that the loyalty that you want? I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, it's just, he thinks among Muslims, there are many insults comparing people to dogs or saying that you're lower than dogs or lower than pigs or you're lower than apes or monkeys. And he just wanted to do that. And he thought like, hey, here's a dog. While I'm recording, I might as well put that some way, find a way to put that into my script. It's not working for him, but yeah.
Just the more I see from him, the more confused I am as to how he's popular. Like, that was dumb, Ollie. That was dumb, man.
Yeah.
You did a bad job. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make sense because basically he's like his comparison kind of suggests that be like this dog where your loyalty could be bought by biscuits, I guess.
It doesn't right. Thank you. Confusing.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. But that's not the part I want to highlight. I want to get to the Nas Daily part. Yeah.
This is what this individual, I don't think he's a Muslim, Munafiq. He's probably Munafiq. He's probably not even a Muslim as far as I know. Last time he said he was this.
So again, he's doubling down on that Nas Daily is probably not even a Muslim. He's probably a munafiq, which is quite bizarre because you just announced that he's not a Muslim. He says he's a Muslim. You said he's not a Muslim. Okay, that is takfiring. They are the same people that keep going around and saying like, "Oh, we're not takfiris." That was the Khawarij did that. Like, we don't tell people who's a Muslim, who's not a Muslim. And now he just did that. That is, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed. Ali Dawa. Again, come to Mufti Armin. I will teach you Islam. You are not Islamically allowed to go around and say somebody is not a Muslim. You don't know what's in their heart. So what the hell are you doing? I mean, this whole Israel-Palestine thing is they see red when somebody goes, pro-Israel. They just even cross their own red lines. Like, you can't do this. I mean, he used to be more careful when it comes to telling people that they're not Muslim. Like, I don't know, you should ask the ulama. I mean, even if he sins, that doesn't technically make him a non-Muslim. But now he's doing that. He Ali Dawa, as a non-scholar, as somebody that hasn't seen them announce that one of the commandments of Allah is not a commandment of Allah, he has no excuse Islamically. He has no excuse to call Nas Daily a munafiq or not a Muslim. And he just did that, which is, takfiri Ali Dawa.
It's just a shame that here on Atheist Republic, we're actually upholding correct Islamic values better than Ali Dawa.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
it's just a shame.
Exactly. Yeah, guys, come to Mufti Armin. I will tell you what's Islamic or not, because this is one of the most popular Islamic channels in the world. Like when it comes to English Islamic channels, I think Ali Dawa, when it comes to viewership, is number one. It's number one. And I know Islam better than he does. Again, this is, guys, Muslims, come to atheist channels to learn Islam, because Ali Dawa doesn't understand Islam.
See how much he has loyalty to his owner, his master that looks after him. So much so that as a random person who had a biscuit, he even listened to me when I said sit down. That's the loyalty of a dog. But not every person is loyal as a dog. And some dogs are better than some human beings. Like Nas. This is what this individual, I don't think he's a Muslim, Munafiq. He's probably Munafiq. He's probably not even a Muslim. As far as I know, the last time he said this person was a nifaq, hypocrisy. Here's what he has to say. This coward, this look.
Why did he cut himself off? He said, last time I heard and then he just like cut himself off. What did you say the rest of that, Ali Dawa? Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I'm just confused about this.
I think he said something. My guess is that he said something and they fact checked it after he recorded. And they were like, okay, that's not true. Let's just cut it out mid-sentence.
So he is able to go back and recognize when he says something stupid to cut it out. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Nas. This is what this individual, I don't think he's a Muslim, Munafiq. He's probably Munafiq. He's probably not even a Muslim. As far as I know, the last time he said this person was a nifaq, hypocrisy. Here's what he has to say. This coward. Look what he has said. Personal thoughts. For the longest time, I struggled with my identity. You're a coward. You never had an identity. You are a coward.
Holy
I don't know what criticism. He's not.
Imagine saying, like, imagine putting this in another context, like imagine saying, like, for a long time, I really struggled with, like, being charitable to myself and accepting myself for who I am. Like, you're a coward. Like, whoa, what? This guy just said for a long time he's been struggling with his identity, and your response is like, you fucking coward. Like, how dare you not know who you are? Like, what?
He's not. Let me explain what's happening here. Please. He is, when it comes to being, okay, if you insult Muhammad, if you insult, I don't know, Ali for Shias, if you insult Allah, if you piss on the Quran, these are all hurtful for these people to watch, and they will get very, very, very angry, okay? But not to the level of being pro-Israel. That is a completely different level of sensitivity here.
That crosses the line.
So that is huge. I mean, I'm not saying these other things are not bad, but Israel, you could be like, I love the devil. I'm buddies with the devil. But like, okay, he's crazy. But you could then later come and like, oh, I love Israel. Okay, you're pure evil now, according to these people. So what you're witnessing here is that he doesn't even think about how I respond, like what I need to respond. You need to say hi, like you're a coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. You're a coward. Like, I mean, his response didn't even have to do anything with the sentence. Like, for a long time, I was personal with my identity. You don't have an identity. You're a coward. You don't have an identity. What?
I want to start responding to everybody, like, with that. Somebody will be like, yeah, man, I'm kind of hungry. I didn't eat lunch today. You're a coward. Like, of course you didn't eat lunch. You're a coward.
Never had lunch. You never had lunch. You didn't even have breakfast.
Oh my god!
You don't even know what lunch is. You coward.
Oh god.
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. Like, okay, like chill, guys. Like,
great.
He's just talking about. Yeah, he's just talking about his identity.
Personal struggle here. Like, for a long time, I've been struggling with my weight. Trying to get healthy. Like, you're a coward.
You're a coward.
You've never been healthy. Coward. You've never eaten vegetables.
You don't even know what identity is. What are you talking about?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at the again. Look how he can't look.
Has loyalty to his owner, his master that looks after him.
I
So much
wanted
so
this
that as
beginning
a
part.
random person who had a biscuit, he even listened to me when I said sit down. That's the loyalty
Okay.
of a dog. But not every person is loyal as a dog. And some dogs are better than some human beings. Like Nas. This is what this individual, I don't think he's a Muslim, Munafiq. He's probably Munafiq. He's probably not even a Muslim. As far as I know, the last time he said this person was a nifaq, hypocrisy. Here's what he has to say. This coward. Look what he has said. Personal thoughts. For the longest time, I struggled with my identity. You're a coward. You never had an identity. You are a coward. Like Malcolm X said,
you never had an identity. Like, you don't even wait for the juicy part. Like, he's not even getting to the part that you could criticize him. Okay.
Also, if Nas Daily never had an identity, it actually kind of makes that thing he said about struggling with his identity for a long time. It makes that really understandable. Like Ali, you're just confirming why Nas Daily has been struggling with. It just doesn't make sense.
But also look at the reasoning he has for the fact that apparently he never has an identity. A quote by Malcolm X that I don't know if I'm missing something here, has nothing to do with struggling with identity.
I don't
know.
The
quote by Malcolm X is, "A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything." Okay, that is irrelevant to struggling with identity. Right. I don't know. I think you're just connecting.
Nas Daily isn't saying that he didn't have like conclusions or opinions or thoughts on various stances and issues. He's just literally saying something that I thought was a pretty standard thing. Like, I kind of feel like everybody struggles with their identity a little bit, at least some point throughout your life, you go like, is that really me? Like, am I doing this because I want to do it or because other people
you could have years of activism and standing for things and still struggle with your identity. That Absolutely. Has nothing to do with it. That one has nothing to do with the code, has nothing to do with your criticism, Ali Dawa.
You're wrong, Armin. You're a coward. Malcolm X is a coward.
Oh, yeah. In fact, Ali Dawa, the reason why you're angry with Nas Daily is because he's standing for something. That's the point of your anger. He's standing for Israel. That's why you're upset. That's why you're upset. He's standing for something that you don't like. What? Oh my God. I don't know. This guy is an idiot. Okay.
Blows my mind, man.
Yeah. If you don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything. You are an absolute coward. Yeah. A Palestinian kid.
He doesn't even explain it. Israel, he doesn't even explain the quote. He just reads it real quick. Like, he does not make a connection at all. Like, that's fascinating.
And I don't know why he keeps using the coward insult. I think they just like how that sounds because it sounds pretty aggressive. Coward, you coward. But it's not relevant to what's happening here because Nas Daily is an Arab Muslim that just came out and said that I'm an Israeli first. I would say that is not cowardly.
I was going to say, isn't it weird how the exact thing that Nas Daily is doing right now is kind of the exact opposite of cowardly behavior? Like, he's purposefully stepping out and making a strong stance in one of the most fraught conversations happening right now. Like, one of the biggest hot button issues right now, he is coming out and making a pretty hard stance.
I mean, if you're an Arab right now or a Muslim right now, the least brave thing you could do right now is to come and say, I stand with Palestine. That is not brave at all. Like, everybody is agreeing with you. Your entire community is agreeing with you. How is that brave? Wouldn't it be brave to say something that Arabs and Muslims around the world are not going out right now in the streets and marching for? Like, say the opposite of what Arabs and Muslims around the world globally are marching for. You saying the opposite of that? Wouldn't that be the exact opposite of being a coward? Even if you disagree with that position, let's say it's the wrong position. Let's say, okay, standing with Israel, wrong. Okay, that's wrong. Standing with Palestine, Siding with Hamas, even. Let's say that's the correct position. Okay? Let's imagine that. Given that that's the position of so many Arabs and so many Muslims, wouldn't it take some level of bravery? Wrong, even if it's wrong, wouldn't it take some bravery to go against that? Why are you calling the guy a coward? I don't understand. He just throws the insult, and it's not even relevant to what's happening. Come up with, if you want to insult the guy, at least call him a fascist sympathizer. So I would disagree with that, but I would get where you're going with it. I would be like, okay, I see your worldview.
At least there's a connection.
At least there's some connection. Yeah, there's some consistency within your own ideological framework. There's some consistency. The coward insult, it's not even relevant here. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Maybe he'll bring it back to the loyalty of a dog too, because I think he just dropped that. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, guys, we just got shekels. Oh. We just got shekels from Israel. We are Zionist funding coming right in, guys. Yeah.
All of that Zionism inside of us has finally caught up with us. Look at this, guys. 15 freaking shekels. I don't know if you know how much that is, but Armin and I are eating good tonight, folks. Like,
yes, I don't even know how much that is, but I think given that Zionist money is a lot, I bet you that translates to like $15,000 at least.
We're basically billionaires.
I think
at this point
we just made it now. Okay. Mussad's funding right here. Thank you so much. So Peleg with the shekels, thank you, saying keep the good content going. Good to see SR and Armin together watching from Israel. These are really tough times for all of us. Sending love from Israel. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Peleg. That's nice. Yeah. All right, let's continue.
Like, what the F? Okay, many of my friends refuse to this day to say the word Israel and call themselves Palestinian and call themselves Palestinians only. Why the hell should they accept it? Hey, you think?
That's actually very interesting because I've been to Israel and I talked to ex-Christian Arab. Okay, this is I love that I have this in my record. Okay, I had a meeting in Israel with ex-Christian Arab atheist Israelis.
Wow, yeah. That's impressive. Yeah. That is impressive.
A group of, one of them was ex-Muslim, but most of the Arab atheists that I talked to in Israel, they were ex-Christian atheists, right? And they were Israeli. And when I talked to them, they had disagreements about this. Even though they were Israeli citizens, a lot of them were not comfortable calling themselves Israeli. But some of them were comfortable calling themselves Israeli. But it was kind of half-half. Like some of them would call themselves Palestinian, and the other ones would call themselves, I'm Israeli. I am Israeli. And to the Arabs that, but even the ones who consider themselves Israeli, they would not say that publicly to other people. They were like, they were afraid of calling themselves Israeli, even because of the backlash they would get from other Arabs, But even I talked to some of the Arab Israelis that would call themselves Palestinian. I asked them, would you give up your Israeli citizenship? And he said, never. Never Cowards. Would they give up their Israeli citizenship.
Cowards.
No. By the way, just to be clear, Secular Rarity is joking. Joking.
Making fun of Ali Dawa and his very stupid takes. Yeah.
Oh, man. We got another super sticker from Secular Sakai. Thank you so much. Saying, what does it say? Mood. That's the super sticker. Yeah. Thank you, Secular Sakai. Thank you so much. All right. So this Arab, Nas Daily, an Arab, is saying that I'm an Israeli, so he's now being called a coward because
into
of
Israel. Like, what the F? Okay.
So let me actually read the full tweet post because sometimes Ali Dawa doesn't read the whole thing. Personal thoughts, he's not reading the whole thing. Not for everyone. Feel free to skip.
Ali Dawa skipped that part. I don't think that's exactly what Nas Daily was saying, but whatever, Ali.
So for the longest time, I struggled with my identity. A Palestinian kid born inside Israel, like what the f? So a lot of Arabs in Israel struggle with that. That struggle is real because Arab Israelis are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They are Israel is a country with people with many different views, right? If you are an Arab Israeli that is proud to be Israeli, well, many Arabs, even within Israel, hate you, right? But even Arabs many other Arabs feel like they are not treated as full Israeli citizens because of how society sees them. Not by all Israelis, but by some Israelis. We have racism in every country, unfortunately, including Israel. But this is not a problem unique to Israel. It's a problem that every country has. Mm-hmm. But then, so they are, if they accept their Israeli identity, it's easier for them to feel like this is their country and be accepted in society. Right. But then they get hate by a lot of Arabs. Right? And if they don't, but then if you try to please the Arab community, then you are considered somebody that is not even proud, he himself does not feel like he belongs to this country. So why should he be treated like he is an Israeli citizen? So it's a very difficult thing to maneuver among all these societal pressures from right-leaning maybe Israelis and from Arab community, and everybody wants you to behave a different way and to consider yourself a certain way, and you don't know, and then it's what you want yourself, and it's hard to figure out what to do. So and Ali Dawa is making light of that struggle. That's a huge struggle.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That's a huge struggle. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say, it's something that really is at the core of somebody's mental and emotional health. And Ali Dawa is calling him a coward for contending with that. Like it's stupid, but like underneath that stupidity, it's actually really gross, man. Like you're really being a terrible person by I
mean, a lot of people would not even understand why an Arab would be proud to be an Israeli. I talked to an Arab Israeli, and he explained to me something that he would never admit it out loud to people because he would be afraid of the backlash. He said, I live in a country, Israel, where as an Arab, even though there are problems, there are racism against Arabs, in Israel. However, he said, by the way, not in the law, like there are racist people, but within the law, I have the same rights as every other Israeli. Even more, Arabs actually have more rights than Jewish people in Israel. Like they don't have to serve in the military, and Jewish people have to. But he said that with all the problems that Israel have, as an Arab Israeli, I have more rights and freedom than Arabs in Arab countries. He said, that's why I'm proud. That's why I would die for this country. As an Arab, I would fight for this country and I would die for this country. That's what he told me. I mean, that's hard to deny. That's hard to deny.
Again, between the two ruling governments, right? The Israeli government, and let's just as an example, take Hamas. Between the two, with all of the problems that exist on the side of the Israeli government, not condoning or shying away from any of that, at the very least, if you want to take this stance, at the very least, it isn't a part of the literal founding of the government to slaughter all Arabs, right?
Yeah.
It again, the scales are just not even close to equal. But here Ali Dawa is calling this person a coward for struggling with that situation. So I guess if anybody out there ever struggles with your identity, just know Ali Dawa thinks you're a coward for doing it.
You're a coward.
You're a coward. How dare you? You never had an identity. Okay.
So so at the end of it, it says, many of my friends refuse to this day to say the word Israel and call themselves Palestinian only. So he's talking about Arab Israelis who don't refer to themselves as Israelis, which is a shame because it's their country, and I hope it gets to a place where they could be proud of being citizens of this country.
Yeah, proud
and proud
of both sides of it. Like,
yeah,
I want people to be proud of the fact that they're Palestinian. Absolutely.
Yeah. Whatever citizen, whatever citizen, this is a citizen of whatever country you are.
Absolutely.
I hope you get to enjoy that, and you get to be happy with that, and you get to be able to say that without feeling a backlash. Everyone deserves that. Everyone deserves to be able to acknowledge their citizenship and the rights and freedoms that citizenship brings them, and not have to give in to pressure of people who try to deny that.
It's really away from them. It's really nuts that is kind of a controversial stance, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that just seems so obvious and basic to me. And apparently that is today a kind of a controversial stance. It just blows my mind. Just blows my mind.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
Many of my friends refuse to this day to say the word Israel and call themselves Palestinians only. Why the hell should they accept it? Hey, you think everyone's a sellout like you coward? Huh? Bro, I wish I come across you in life.
I mean, if you're loyal like a dog for treats, then you should be a sellout.
That's
technically what you said.
Right. That's, okay. Right. This is always the problem, is there's like 14 layers of irony and stupidity in every video Ali Dawa does. And it's like, you have to break it all down, because it's like, dude, if you like really legitimately believe that, like, why did you say all this other stuff? Yeah, he's
not very smart.
No, it's just I'm so confused. I'm so confused here. Like, it also, I just want to point this out because I think it's always worth pointing this out. YouTube algorithm gods, the mathematical equations that allow people on your platform and take off the people who are actively calling for violence against others. I want to just ask you a quick question, YouTube algorithm. What's Ali Dawa saying? What is Ali Dawa saying there? He mentions about coming across Nas Daily in real life, and he says, I wish I could come across. What is he saying there? Oh, hey, one of our wonderful viewers here, Unicorn1620, says it sounded threatening. Yeah, it did. It sounded almost as if Ali Dawa was outright, openly threatening another YouTube creator. Just want to point that out to the algorithm. Just want to point. Is that in terms of service? Is that in the terms of service? Are you allowed to do that? You allowed to do that? Did I miss that?
Well, I mean, he's careful. They're careful with that because, like, if I see you, like, they make it all threatening and violent sounding, and they're like, "I will tell you this." Like, they were like, at first they will like bring it up, and then they will. They know how. They know how to keep it within terms of service. I think.
What?
Because
it just doesn't make any. What could you possibly be saying? It's like, Armin, if you said to me, if you were like, man, I really don't like that t-shirt. I really think it looks dumb. And my response was, ooh, if I saw you in real life, Armin, like, there's only one thing you're implying there. Like, I'm not implying
I would give you a piece of my mind like that.
I would take my t-shirt off and change it to another one because you made a really good point about fashion.
Let's see. Maybe he'll say it.
Refuse to this day to say the word Israel and call themselves Palestinians only. Why the hell should they accept it? Hey, you think everyone's a sellout like you coward? Huh? Bro, I wish I'd come across you in life. Not that I'm gonna do anything to you. I would love to see you face to face. You coward. I'm not even Palestinian.
For what purpose? For what purpose, Ali? Like, don't be a fucking coward yourself. Like, say it with your chest like a big boy, like the big boy you pretend to be, dude. Like, if you're going to enact violence on this individual, which is what you're implying, then just explicitly say it. Like, just say it, or you can just admit that all of this is actually just a show. And you don't legitimately mean any of this stuff, and you just have fake outrage over things so as to gin up more views, bro. Just admit you're a liar or you're a coward. It's fine with me either way, but that kind of feels like the two options, bro. Like, you're either faking this outrage and you don't actually mean what you're saying, or you legitimately want to cause violence on this person when you see them in person. That's what he's saying.
So Nas Daily is continuing saying, but since I was 12, that did not make sense to me. So I decided to mix the two and become a Palestinian Israeli. So this is how he tried to figure out, you know, he's Palestinian, he's Israeli, which one should I call? You know, a lot of Arabs in Israel, a lot of Israeli Arabs do not call themselves Israeli. So he tried to come up with the middle ground. He said, I'm a Palestinian Israeli. And he put Palestinian first on purpose. I thought this term reflected who I was. Palestinian first, Israeli second. But after recent events, by recent events, he means the October 7th attack by Hamas on Israel and killing and torturing and raping all those civilians, man, women, and children. So it says, but after recent events, I started to think and think and think. And then my thoughts turned to anger. I realized that if Israel were to be invaded like that again, we would not be safe. To a terrorist invading Israel, all citizens are targets. Yes, because just like Ali Dawa said, you would be considered a munafiq. You would be considered a hypocrite. You would be considered a traitor to your own kind, not loyal. Arab Israelis are not going to be spared by Hamas because they're Arab. Muslim Israelis are not going to be spared by Hamas because they're Muslim. They decided to accept their Israeli citizenship, and that makes every single one of them a traitor. So they would be targeted just like every other Jewish, every Israeli will be targeted. And Nas Daily is so correct about this. And the fact that Ali Dawa is actually demonstrating that how correct that is. This is why when we want to, we don't want to just protect the Jewish Israelis. We have to protect every Israeli, including Arab Israelis. And Ali Dawa is demonstrating the level of anger and the level of threat exists not against just Jewish Israelis, but also Arab Israelis. Like Ali Dawa is proving his point. Ali Dawa is proving Nas Daily's point here.
Yep.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Never forget that one of the largest groups that is the victim, that is the murder victim because of Islam, is Muslims. Never forget that. Never forget that another one of those very large groups that are the victims of Islam, Arabic people. Don't forget that, you guys. Okay. Also, I just want to point this out. In this short tweet from Nas Daily, don't know if anybody agrees or disagrees, please tell me. But in this short tweet from Nas Daily, we have witnessed more critical thinking than anything we have ever seen from Ali Dawa. I just want to point that out because I think it's really worthwhile. Like, it's obvious that he took time to think before he typed this stuff out. Our buddy Ali, on the other hand, makes full-ass videos and still says stuff that we're all deeply confused about. So just wanted to point that out, you guys.
Yeah. We got 2 super chats from Matt. The first, thank you so much, Matt. The first one saying, hi all. On Sunday, I mentioned I changed my sub from $10 to $30 a month. Just letting you know I did this morning. Love you all. Well, thank you so much, Matt. But then he also clarified with another $10 super chat saying, well, technically I changed it to $39 to cover fees and allow Miss Susanna to get a coffee or drink or whatever each month. Hope that's halal or kosher or whatever means okay in real life. Well, we should come. Thank you so much, Matt. That's very nice. We should come up with an atheist version of that. Like we have halal for
kosher,
halal for Islam, kosher for Judaism. What is okay in atheists? What do atheists call something that is okay to do? So let us know, guys. We should.
Yeah, we'll have to think on that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good. It is.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say like liberalism, but then like that doesn't work. That's not true, really. But yeah. We'll think of something.
Satanic. Somebody's saying that's satanic.
I like it. I mean,
Iblis approve.
Iblis approve.
Iblis. Yeah, people are saying satanic, logical, sound,
logical,
fully godless.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Iblis approve. It's Iblis approve is
Iblis
it?
approve.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
But since I was 12, that did not make sense to me. So I decided to mix the two and become a Palestinian Israeli. I thought this term reflected who I was. Palestinian first, Israeli second. Just wait till the end, guys. Yeah, okay. But after recent events, I started to think, and then my thoughts turned to anger. SubhanAllah, was you angry for the sake of your brothers and sisters who have been blown into pieces, who have been oppressed for the past 75 years? You coward. Of course.
Yeah, he is actually, Ali Dawa. If you go check, he's angry with that as well. So maybe you should have checked before you look at the. Listen.
I started to think, and then my thoughts turned to anger. SubhanAllah, was you angry for the sake of your brothers and sisters who have been blown into pieces, who have been oppressed for the past 75 years? You coward. Of course not. I realized.
Of course not. Ali Dawa, maybe you should have done your research before you said that, because yeah, he's upset about that as well. I don't think Nas Daily is like, yay, Palestinians dying. Like, that's okay. I'm only upset when Israeli civilians die. What do you mean, of course not? You idiot. He is upset about that. I mean, it's so easy to check. He has YouTube videos about it. He's obviously upset about that, like a human being that he is. Unlike you, who is only upset about one side, he's upset about civilian deaths on both sides. But go on.
Well, I'm just really confused. Did he say subhanallah right before that? Like, isn't that like glory to God? Why did he say that?
Yeah.
Why did he mention that right there? Like,
no, that's just what you throw around with saying like, oh my God. Like that.
Okay.
Means, oh my God.
Okay. So it's like an oh my God, not like a, it's not like an actual glorification to Allah or anything. Cause I was like, that's so weird. Like, it almost sounded like what he was saying was like, thanks be to Allah that you don't also feel this way about the Palestine. It's just, again, it's just
no. He's just demonstrating shock about what Nas Daily
so it's
said.
like he's saying Jesus Christ. Like, okay,
yeah, something exactly. That's yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense.
But look what he's look at the accusation. Look at the baseless accusation here.
And then my thoughts turned to anger. SubhanAllah, was you angry for the sake of your brothers and sisters who have been blown into pieces, who have been oppressed for the past 75 years? You coward. Of course not.
First of all, even if that has, get your insults right. Even if he is an evil person who doesn't care about Palestinians dying, the relative insult is not coward. Go figure. Like, if you want to insult, but find a relevant insult. What does this got to? Oh my God!
Like hypocrite would have been a better insult. You know?
Yeah, hypocrite or evil person or you scumbag or you like filth or garbage or any one of these insults would work here. You just know one insult and you just keep throwing that, like, not relevant here. It doesn't work here. But again, it's a baseless accusation. How you go do 2 minutes of research and you will see that he's also upset about that.
No,
where is this coming
cowardly,
from? He doesn't care.
That's cowardly. That's what cowards do. They struggle with their identity and they look up sources or whatever.
They live in a cartoon world where the people who they consider to be evil are just like these monsters who just love to see Palestinians die. Because if you say I support Israel, in their minds, you're just so evil that of course, whoever loves Israel just enjoys the death of Palestinians. That's the cartoonish level of evil that exists. Something that you could actually say about Hamas, to be honest. You know?
Okay, so again, we're just peeling back another layer of irony, you guys. Okay, again, yes. On top of that, I have to ask the question: why do you think that is? Do you think it has to do with people like Ali Dawa just having the view that all Jewish people are just evil? Do you think that it might have something to do with that? And so truly at the core of what Ali Dawa is saying is this super hateful, bigoted ideology and advocation of genocide, right? Like, it's just, it's amazing to me. Again, it's fucking amazing. All right. I saw we got a super chat.
Oh yeah, I don't understand the super chat. Like most Asian American super chats, I don't understand it. But so Asian American saying, do I want to identify with the president that calls me a sissy degenerate or a president that calls people like me kung fu? I choose the one with term limits. Ali Dawa, the coward to never question. I don't understand what just happened here. If you know,
I'm not 100% positive, but I would just like to say, you know, your kink may not be my kink, but it's okay. That's okay. And I don't know. I could totally see why some people would prefer either of those. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. No, I'm a little
let's
confused.
Continue. Okay.
Realize that if
Asian American super chats, you just meant to read them, just once, and if you don't get it the first time, you just should move on.
Oh yeah,
that's how. But thank you for the super chat, Asian American.
If Israel were to be invaded like that again, we would not be safe. To a terrorist invading Israel, all citizens are targets. Look at how we call those individuals who some deem as freedom fighters, as terrorists. But
no. Come on, Armin. That's ridiculous. He didn't just say that. We misheard that. There's no way that Ali Dawa is trying to equivocate right now. See, Armin, it's so clearly obvious that the paragliders who came down from the skies at a music festival and indiscriminately slaughtered people, it is so clear that that is terrorism, right? Everybody resoundingly rejects it. When Muhammad Hijab was on Piers Morgan, right? Piers asked him, and Hijab said, he said, look, everybody's against that. There's no way that Ali Dawa was trying to say those individuals are freedom fighters, right? There's no way. We had to have misheard that, dude. There's no way he just said that.
I mean, we have been telling you guys that they lie. They lie when they say they don't support Hamas. We just did some recordings with Secular Rarity before the show, and I keep showing him evidence that I stand with Palestine means I stand with Hamas. That's what it means. Yeah. Unfortunately, for the Palestinian people, that's what it means.
Right.
And they keep giving us evidence after evidence after evidence. You are limited. In the UK, where Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab live, and on YouTube, you cannot support Hamas, right? It's against terms of service and the law. Okay, so remember that when these people are saying, some people will call, why do you think he has to add that?
The same reason
they call Hamas terror.
No, go ahead.
Do you think, honestly think, if these people's hands were not tied, would they not support Hamas? The fact that he says, you calling them terrorists, you're like, look, the Nas Daily is talking about the killing of 1,400 civilians. 1,400 civilians in the most horrific way imaginable. Something in the way that it's even the Nazis could not imagine. Even ISIS could not imagine the way that they killed civilians in Israel on October 7th. And Ali Dawa has to mention when Nas Daily is condemning them as terrorists, is calling them out as terrorists, Ali Dawa has to add some people, not me apparently, wink wink, some people. I have to mention some people will call them freedom fighters. This is an outright, direct, transparent support of terrorism and genocide by Ali Dawa. It's pretty clear. It's so obviously clear.
And I know, folks, what I'm about to say may sound a little weird. Okay, I know it might, but follow with me on this journey. It's worse than Ali Dawa just being evil. right? Because if he was just evil, he would admit that he's trying to intimidate Nas Daily by threatening him with physical violence if he ever sees him. But he toned that down for the terms of service on YouTube. Okay. If Ali Dawa was just evil, then he would just admit that he supports the actions that Hamas took on October 7th. Instead, it is worse, I think. It's worse, I think. Because not only is Ali Dawa evil and perpetuating those evil ideas, he's a fucking coward about it.
Yeah.
He can't just say it.
Yeah. This is the proper, this is it now. Ali Dawa, now your insult becomes relevant here for you.
Go. We finally get a correct insult. That's how you use coward in a sentence.
Coward as an insult. When you want to support Hamas, but you have to use dog whistles instead, you know, and not very good dog whistles.
No,
because it's pretty obvious.
Right. It's like it's literally, it is right on the edge of just coming out and freaking saying it. But instead, again, he is so afraid. He is so afraid, shaking in his little tiny boots, that he can't even say it. He can't even say the atrocious thing that he actually believes. So, but yeah, that's what he did, folks. Right there, just so you know, he equated the paragliders from Hamas who indiscriminately slaughtered civilians with freedom fighters, because some people feel that way about him. Some people feel that way about him. It's like, imagine, Armin, imagine if I said to you, like, blah, 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 Jeffrey Dahmer, some people view him as a visionary, you know? Like, you'd listen to that and just go, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what? Like, who cares that some people feel that he is a visionary? He literally ate people. Are you okay with that? Like,
yeah. Imagine if I say Adolf H in World War II, who many people consider him to be fascist. However, some people consider him to be a savior of Germany.
Some people think he was a real swell dude. Just
dude, you know. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, just so you know, just like obviously, but remember that when Muhammad Hijab and these people go around, like, of course we condemn Hamas. Remember that that's allowed by Islam to lie like that when you are limited. They make it very clear. They make it very clear to their audience, because they know their audience. Ali Dawa, Muhammad Hijab, and Smile to Jannah, and Daniel Hagaju, and all of these people, they know their audience. And a lot of their audience wouldn't like them to condemn Hamas. So they have to make sure that they have dog whistles to their audience that, come on, guys, you know we support Hamas. But we can't say that, right? Like, please understand that we are with you in supporting Hamas. And just listen to it one more time. Wait, we got a lot of super chats. I will read them soon.
SubhanAllah, was you angry for the sake of your brothers and sisters who have been blown into pieces, who have been oppressed for the past 75 years? You coward? Of course not. I realized that if Israel were to be invaded like that again, we would not be safe. To a terrorist invading Israel, all citizens are targets. Look at how we cause those individuals who some deem as freedom fighters, as terrorists. But Israel and what it's been doing, and
he's clearly disagreeing with them being called terrorists.
Yes, he is. Outright. It is obvious. It is obvious what he is saying. I'm so sorry, but guys, there's no, it's not ambiguous here. This is like the Quran, clear and unambiguous, folks. Like, what is Nas Daily referencing? The October 7th slaughter that Hamas committed. Who is Ali Dawa talking about? Those individuals. That's what he's saying. And he's saying, I don't know. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're freedom fighters. We don't know. We don't know.
The videos of Israel's government is showing the videos of what Hamas did in Israel to journalists, including journalists who are against Israel, and they are breaking apart. Like the journalists, they can't take watching what they're seeing. And I wish Israel's government like would eventually release all of them, because right now they're showing it to journalists because it's unimaginable pain. I mean, the things that are being described by the journalists who have seen those videos, I cannot even repeat what has happened, what they did to people.
No, we'd get.
And Ali Dawa is defending that. By the way, let me just quickly read all the super chats. Guys, thank you so much. These super chats are really, really helping us. Asian American saying, Pooh Bear called gay people, Pooh Bear meaning, the current leader of CCP in China. So the government, So saying, Pooh Bear called gay people sissy, degenerates, and 45th called 45th of you're referring to Biden called Asian
Trump.
Trump, sorry. Called Asians kung fu. I choose to remain American because of checks and balances. Okay.
Now I see. Now I get what he's saying. Yeah. He's saying he picks the one that has term limits because at least in the United States, you can't be president for life like Xi Jinping. Okay, got it. Okay.
Matt is saying, speaking of Gaijin's super chats, the first live I saw, he asked if a wind-powered adult toy is halal. You said no, but I think he meant because Allah controls the wind. It's his fault if it's activated.
I was going to say, I remember when Asian American asked that question. I also want to say thank you so much, Matt, for bringing it back. Matt has been wondering about it for months. I think it is correct, and I just want to. I personally want to say thank you so much for bringing that back. We needed that. We missed it.
So Matt's saying, I've been wondering if that's right for months. Okay. And then Asian American with another super chat saying he's craven trying to make money. He's an influencer with Islamic characteristics. Thank you for that super chat. And last super chat, which is too late, Matt's saying, no need to read my last two super chats.
Dude, we're gonna.
Well, too late.
We're gonna.
Too late.
I'm sorry. Late. We can't help it, Matt. Thank you so much for all the support, man.
Yeah, thank you guys for the support. So let's...
A terrorist invading Israel, all citizens are targets. Look at how we cause those individuals who some deem as freedom fighters, as terrorists. But Israel and what it's been doing and killing, massacre men, women, children, you coward, you scum. I was in your face if I could see you.
That's insane.
This is whataboutism. That's whataboutism.
Yeah, and not even anywhere close to good whataboutism. Like all whataboutism is garbage, okay? But like this isn't even close to decent whataboutism, okay? Like he is saying, hey, Nas, why aren't you upset with the IDF? You know why? Here's the specific reason. They've killed women and children and civilians. And yet, the individuals on October 7th, Ali just casually mentions, some people call them freedom fighters. Some people call them freedom fighters. The people who, what'd they do? Oh, that's right. They killed children and women and civilians. It's just,
yeah. But here's the thing. His criticism does not apply. Let's say Ali Dawa is correct, okay? Civilians, okay, you're seeing civilians on one side dying, and you're not criticizing the civilians dying on the other side, okay? Let's assume that this is a fair point of criticism. First of all, you haven't shown that Nas Daily is doing that, because last time I checked, Nas Daily is upset and angered by both of them. That's last time I checked, okay? So, however, it does apply to you. Your criticism, if it's a correct form of criticism, applies to Ali Dawa.
Right.
Because Ali Dawa is angered and is highlighting Palestinians dying, but is calling the murderer of the civilians of Israeli sides as freedom fighters.
Freedom fighters, right.
So Ali Dawa, I don't understand, why are you seeing that? How come you're not seeing the death of the Palestinian side? Well, Ali Dawa, he is How come you're like? Do you not look in the mirror? Your criticism applies to you.
It's insane.
You're not saying the civilian death on one side.
It's just
I
insane.
don't. The lack of self-awareness is unbelievable.
And again, I just want to point this out. It may sound like I'm being a bit ridiculous here. It may sound like I'm being a bit pedantic, okay? But I want to tell you what the laws are on the books, okay? In the UK, one random citizen spitting on another random citizen, that's assault. That is physical violence according to the law. You can go to jail for that. That's true in the United States. And once again, YouTube, a content creator on your platform is saying that they personally would commit violence. They personally would break the law committing assault on another content creator. That's on you, YouTube. Do something about it. You have terms of services. Use them. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. We get flagged because we call out this nonsense and this garbage and this hatred, but then this guy can go out there and just, yeah, and it's childish. Exactly, Unicorn. And it's just childish. But it's literal assault. It's assault in most countries. And he calls for it again. It's mind-blowing. I don't know, man. I don't know.
We got 2 super chats. Yeah, one from Matt saying, "Okay, you win. Read all of them, I guess." And then we got thank you for the super chat, Matt. And then we got another super chat from Gage and American saying, "Has he considered
unusable?" I think is what he was trying to say.
Unusable, I think. Yeah, unusable microplastic as an insult. Okay, I don't understand that, but thank you again, Gage and American, for the super chat.
Face to face, 67 kids got killed, massacred. Did you say a single word? Did you call Israel a terrorist state? Never, you coward.
Well, I mean, it's not a terrorist act. Go look up the definition of terrorism. Even if you want to condemn it, even if you want to consider, first of all, I don't condemn it because I wait for investigations to figure out whether, because civilian death by itself is not against the Geneva Conventions.
It isn't.
Civilian death,
necessarily
if it's
terrorism.
proven, yeah, it's not necessarily terrorism, and it's not even necessarily a crime. If it's a crime, if you could prove that civilians died in an operation that could have been done in a way where civilians wouldn't have died. Like, it's actually very complicated. I've been studying the Geneva Convention. It's pretty complicated for you to. You need to. I will wait for investigations, and in any investigation that shows the Israeli military has done a crime, I will call it a crime, and if not, I would not call it a crime. But even if it's a crime, not every crime is a terrorist act. It really depends. It doesn't matter how big it is. It's not the size of the crime that makes it a terrorist act. It's the nature and it's the motivation behind that attack that makes
the
it
intention.
Makes it
the intention.
The intention, yeah.
Like it is amazing that anybody can equivocate on this garbage. It is amazing that anybody can equivocate on this. But real quick, Armin, can we pull up that quote that Ali is bringing up? You know, I mean, he's not known for misrepresenting things or leaving things out. So I know it's a little bit silly of me, but can we pull that up again? He's saying something about 67 children dying in Gaza.
Okay.
Just scroll back just a little bit here. Let's see.
How we pause.
See if
of
we
course
can.
Not. I realize that if some deem us freedom fighters, as terrorists, what Israel and what it's been doing and killing, massacring men, women, children, you cowards, you scum. I will spin your face if I could see you face to face.
That's a call for violence. Pause it right there. Okay. What does that say? What does that say there, Armin? This is really interesting. What does that say? It says, since the 10th of May, 2021, he's going back 2 years. He's going back 2 years. And he's saying, oh my gosh, look at all these children that have died. That's terrible. 260 people were slaughtered in one night at a single event. at a single place. And Ali doesn't say anything. He has nothing to say on that. He has nothing to say on that. He calls them freedom fighters.
Those are freedom fighters.
They're freedom fighters.
Why is he going? Why wouldn't he just talk about the number of Palestinians that are dying in Gaza right now? Because those are big numbers.
Right. Because he doesn't give a shit. Because he doesn't care. Ali Dawa doesn't care. That's why he's bringing this up. That's why I wanted to pause it, is because I was like, man, there's something weird about that he just put up. There was something weird there. And what's weird is the fact that it kind of seems like Ali is completely misrepresenting this on purpose so as just to gin up outrage, as opposed to actually giving a shit about the Palestinian people or their fight. Because if he cared, why would he do this? Why would he do this? We know that we know that civilians have died already in the response from the IDF. And it's terrible. Every single death is a tragedy. Why would he not talk about that? Why would he instead bring this up?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he has a... Okay, Norman is saying, I'm going to sleep, guys. Good night. Love you. Okay, thank you so much, Norman. Thank you for the super chat.
Second, did you say a single word? Did you call Israel a terrorist state? Never, you coward. And it reminds me of...
I mean, again, guys, even if IDF was evil, which is not every evil is terrorist. A terrorist has a definition.
On the individuals.
They don't get these details. They just think like, oh, you're not calling them terrorists because you're supporting civilian death. Like the level of nuance is so much above your head, Ali Dawa. You can't even begin to talk about these things.
Right.
And I mean, I don't know if I should blame him. I think like it's at this point it's getting ableist if I keep like making fun of it.
Yeah.
Yes, and the rest who are quiet, who will never condemn Israel as well. Anyways, we will not be safe again. To terrorists invading Israel, all citizens are targets. So look at the compassion he has. Yes, of course, innocent people, no problem. But to occupying forces, military individuals, yes, there's a conflict that's going on. 900 Israelis died.
What are you talking about?
Occupying forces in Gaza? In Gaza? Is that what you're talking about, Ali? Is that what you're talking about? Or are you purposefully attempting to blur the lines between the West Bank and Gaza?
I don't even know if it makes sense what he's saying. He's not very good at talking.
No.
Like,
yes.
Look at what he's saying. Like, okay, yeah, civilian people died, but he's like innocent civilian Israeli dies. But what?
Did you call Israel a terrorist state? Never, you coward. And it reminds me of coming on the individuals like Faris, yes, and the rest who are quiet, who will never condemn Israel as well. Anyways, we will not be safe again. To terrorists invading Israel, all citizens are targets. So look at the compassion he has. Yes, of course, innocent people.
So he's shaming the compassion that he has for Israelis, but he's not. That's what he's saying. He's like, oh, look at how much compassion you have for Israelis, but you're not seeing the other side,
no problem. But to occupying forces, military individuals, yes, there's a conflict that's going on.
Yeah, his sentences are not very clear.
It doesn't make he stops.
I think he's saying, but Israel. Yeah, he's not finishing his thought, so it's not very clear what he's saying. I think he's saying, why are you not seeing the occupying force as evil? You have so much compassion for Israeli people dying, but you don't have the compassion for Palestinians who are living under an occupying force. I think I'm just trying to translate the gibberish into real sentences.
Look, folks, not only when you come to Atheist Republic do you get correct understandings of Islam, okay? Correct understandings of, values like secularism and liberalism that will help progress society and increase well-being and minimize suffering, but you also can actually finally understand what garbage takes Ali Dawa is trying to make. Because the man can't even finish his own thoughts. You got to come to us so that Armin can go, I think he's trying to say this. He does a very bad job, but yeah, that's what he's saying. And again, like Armin pointed out, this guy who has like 13 million subscribers on YouTube alone, Nas Daily, has publicly stated that he is not okay with the civilian deaths on the Palestinian side. Like, it is that
Yeah.
simple that I looked it up in this process. It took me 5
you did?
seconds, you guys. It took like 5 seconds to go like, man, does Nas Daily disagree with Palestinians dying? It's like, oh my God, there it is. There's a lot of things that he's saying. So it's like, again, there's so many layers of irony and stupidity in everything Ali Dawa does. It just, okay. Let's keep going.
100 Israelis died so far. More than 40 of them are Arabs, killed by other Arabs. And even 2 Thai people died too. And I do not want to live under a Palestinian government. You coward.
He's a
God,
coward.
that's such a good
Wow.
quote.
Let me say to them,
Look at the quote.
to terrorists invading Israel, all citizens are targets. So look at the compassion he has. Yes, of course, innocent people, no problem. But to occupying forces, military individuals,
I should
yes,
always
there's a conflict
pause
that's going on.
Like, because I should read this myself because Ali Dawa doesn't read it for. So Nas Daily is saying 900 Israelis died so far. More than 40 of them are Arabs. Oh, okay. So this was before the full numbers came out. That's why Ali Dawa is not quoting the higher numbers, because this was before, which is. This actually makes it a lot worse. Holy crap! This video came out when Israel had not even begun to, respond in Gaza. Right. So this guy is supporting Hamas to this level, even before the high numbers of Palestinians dying in response to Israel going into Gaza. Yeah. So 900 Israelis died so far. More than 40 of them are Arabs, killed by other Arabs, and even 2 Thai people died too. Okay, so I didn't know that 2 Thai people died as well. And I do not want to live under a Palestinian government. I mean, nobody wants. You obviously, as an Arab, you have a better life living under an Israeli government than a Palestinian government. Which means I only have one home, even if I'm not Jewish, Israel. So. Nas Daily, an Arab Muslim Israeli, says, I only have one home, Israeli. I wouldn't even want to live under a Palestinian government, which makes sense. Any liberal person, any LGBT, any woman, they always will have a better life. Any human being will have a better life under an Israeli government than a Palestinian one. And then it continues, that's where all my family live. That's where I grew up. That's the country I want to see continue to exist so I can exist. An Arab Israeli would not be able to continue to exist without Israel, because there are, by other Arabs, many other Arabs, they are considered traitors and will be killed for being traitors. So you should, as an Arab Israeli, you should defend Israel, because that's how you can continue to exist. Very, very well put. Very well put by Nas Daily.
100 Israelis died so far. More than 40 of them are Arabs, killed by other Arabs. And even 2 Thai people died too. And I do not want to live under a Palestinian government. You coward. You don't even deem yourself Palestinian, which means only I have one home.
He has no criticism. He doesn't have any good takes. Like, I could pretend to be a Muslim and tear Nas Daily apart. He just reads what he's saying, and instead of reacting to it, and instead of criticism, he just looks at the camera like, you coward. Okay, let's go continue reading. And then you coward. And then some random thoughts that has nothing to do with Nas Daily.
He doesn't finish his thought.
You coward.
He just he says the same thing over and over. It blows my mind that he's as popular as he is. He does not go into anything. He does not explain anything. I don't know why people watch it.
I mean, if you're a Muslim, at least here, Ali Dawa, you want to be a proper fundamentalist, a crazy Muslim that criticizes Nas Daily? I could say that you chose dunya over the akhirat. That's a favorite go-to for Muslims. Like he says, he's choosing the Israeli government, an Israeli government over a Palestinian government, because he would have a better life. Life means this world. So he's choosing this world over the next world. He is betraying his deen. He's betraying his religion because of worldly conveniences. He's betraying his fellow Muslim brothers and sisters. He's forgetting that the more important world is the after one, but he will choose the Israeli government because the Israeli government will give him a better life in this world, but Allah will give him a better life in the next world.
But Armin,
I just came up with that. Just Just like,
hang
look,
on.
I'm Musliming more properly than Ali Dawa.
That would be brilliant, Armin. That would be the best take ever from the Islamic side if Ali Dawa had not already takfired Nas Daily. See, that's the problem. That's where your issue is that Nas Daily just isn't a Muslim. So that's the
he
problem,
sold his deen, he sold his iman, he sold his faith for the conveniences of living a better life in this world.
Right.
Instead of this is perfect because this is shirk. Instead of serving the one master that will give you a better akhirat, will give you a better afterlife, which is Allah, he's serving another master, which is Israel. Because just like all other masters other than Allah, these other puppets of shaitan, the puppets of the devil, they will tempt you with this world. They will say, like, just forget Allah, I will give you a better life, but in this life. And you will forget that Allah, if you serve Allah instead of serving Israel, Allah will give you a better afterlife. And you will have a better temporary life, Nas Daily.
That's what's important.
Nas Daily, you will have a better temporary life because of your master Israel giving you all this good life. Your Palestinians brothers and sisters are dying under bombs, and you will have a better life in living in Israel because you're serving Shaitan, you're serving Israel. But then eventually we all die, and death is the ultimate equalizer, Nas Daily. Enjoy your life while you can, because in the next life you will have to be answerable to Allah.
This is the thing.
I did that.
I
guys,
know, just on the fly.
This is a better Islamic channel than Ali Dawa.
He doesn't even Dawa right. Like, that's what's so blows my mind. He doesn't edit videos right. He doesn't do Dawa right. He doesn't debate right. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand, man. Right. Oh my God. But hang on. I have to talk about this real quick before we go back. I'm gonna say your name wrong, viewer, and I'm so sorry. I'm gonna call you Chan. But Chan says, when you sit and talk there about stupidity while laughing and not caring about genocide and children being killed all day, Israel bomb everyday houses without warning. What's it for? Getting Hamas? Are you really thinking that in 2023 with all the modern life that you have? You cannot being smarter. So let me respond to this real quick.
Being smarter?
I mean, I'm sure that was just a mistake. I know. I'm sure that was
when you're trying to call people stupid, try not to mistype, because that looks very ridiculous.
I know. It makes you look silly. But let me say this.
You cannot being smarter. That's very smart. Okay.
It's very smart. But
we cannot being smarter.
I don't even know that we have to go to that, right, Armin? Because it would be a shame. It would be a shame for this viewer here, Chan, of course. It would be a shame. Because I'm sure this viewer, Chan, is very intelligent. And I'm sure they recognize that Israel currently already has not only, created, printed, and distributed thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of flyers, both in Arabic and with just pictures, just in case somebody's illiterate, about telling Gazan civilians to get the hell out, right? I'm sure Chan knows that and just forgot about that. I'm positive that our wonderful viewer here just completely forgot that in the founding documents of Hamas, they literally explicitly state their intention for genocide of the Jewish people. Okay. I'm sure that this wonderful viewer, Chan, is not just using the word genocide to mean anything they want, because it's such a serious accusation that using it like that purposefully would make somebody an outright asshole, right? You know, I'm sure that's not the case. And
what about what about the fact that Hamas, while Israel is trying to get civilians out of the way so they don't die, Hamas is blocking the roads so that they stay under the bombs,
Yeah, that would
so
be
Palestinian
bad.
civilians do die.
What
about the fact that 500
look
kilometers
bad.
of tunnels, Hamas
Not a
doesn't let Palestinians, civilians to come to these tunnels so that they die under those bombs.
But hang on. But Armin, with all that tunnels, with all those tunnels and all that construction work, Hamas has built how many hospitals and bomb shelters? They've built how many? We're counting. We're up to
0.
Oh, okay. I'm sure Chan knows all of that. I'm sure this was just a mistake of a message here. Because again,
by the way, this
go ahead.
And the most important part of this, by the way, Elliot, is that Hamas designed everything so that civilians in Palestine die. This is the fact that Hamas went to Israel, recorded all their crimes to get the highest level of anger, so that Israel comes, and they designed everything in a way, they built everything under schools and hospitals to make sure more Palestinian civilians die. This was the entirety of this
interesting
plan. Everything is going according to plan, according to what Hamas did.
But
unfortunately, they're executing that perfectly. They are putting civilians' lives exactly where they need to be to have the highest number of casualties from the Palestinian side. So remember, the IDF tries to reduce civilian death both on Israel's side and on Palestine side, and Hamas is trying to maximize civilian death both on Israel's side and on Palestinian side.
But Armin, such a bold statement on your part would require, for instance, as an example, some maybe, I don't know, high up official in the Hamas government or something that like says that, right? Like we don't have that, do we?
Yeah.
It doesn't exist.
We just recorded a video of them saying this, so
snap.
we will release that, by the way, on Secular Rarity. So go watch that. Yeah, we have 2 videos that demonstrate all this. Yeah, by themselves. So we don't have to believe us. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, that's a good response. Let's
Even
continue.
if I am not Jewish, which is Israel. There you go, bro. This is literally a house Palestinian. Yes, if you get what I'm saying. That's where
way. You know what he's saying there, right? You know what he's saying there,
house,
right?
Yeah, house N-word. Yeah.
Oh my God. Holy crap, you guys. Imagine calling somebody that and then thinking you're the person that's on the right side here. Holy crap. That's insane. Did you know that he said that? Oh my God, that was crazy. I thought when he casually called Hamas freedom fighters, I thought that was going to be the most ridiculous thing. He just called Nas Daily a house N-word. That's what he just said. Oh my God.
I mean, it's good. It's good for people to know the nature of these guys.
Being myself Palestinian, which means only I have one home, even if I am not Jewish, which is Israel. There you go, bro. This is literally a house Palestinian. Yes, if you get what I'm saying. That's where all my family lived. That's where I grew up, and that's the country I want to see continue to exist, so I can exist. You cannot make this stuff up. Wallahi, this guy is. Yani, should I tell you something? If you was my brother, I would disown you, bro. You are the biggest.
He thinks he's funny.
That's his criticism. Right. He thinks it's funny. And to be funny, you have to be at least slightly intelligent. Like that's kind of the point about jokes, right?
That wasn't even a joke. No, why did he put that?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like to be good at humor, you have to at least be kind of intelligent, you know? But like he's not, and so he's bad at it. But also like that's his criticism, you guys. That's his nuanced take is, brother, I would disown you. But why? Why would you disown him? Why not explain a little bit more?
No, but look how much he thinks that that was such an amazing response He just has to amplify it. Yeah, look
Exist
at
so
that.
I can exist. You cannot make this stuff up. Wallahi, this guy is, yani, should I tell you something? If you was my brother, I would disown you, bruv.
Really? That's not even a joke. Why are you posting this effect? What is this? This is not even.
You
Oh my
are the
God.
biggest double
Insane.
standard.
And it's a National
Dummy.
Geographic video. I know that's not really important, but I just want to point that out in the bottom right-hand corner. It's like,
Yeah, I
this
don't
is
know what
something
the
from a Nat Geo video, you guys. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's very
so
cringy.
weird.
Is, yani, should I tell you something? If you was my brother, I would disown you, bruv. You are the biggest scum, double standard, bum licker, shoe
What's the
licker.
double standard?
You are.
What is the double standard, you idiot? What is the double standard?
I mean,
Like-
he has a double standard, obviously, here.
What? What is it? I don't know.
Ali Dawa has that. I mean,
Oh.
Ali Dawa, you clearly have the double standard
Right.
yourself here. You're calling one side freedom fighters, the civilians dying from one side. You're calling their killers, murderers, freedom fighters. Who has the double standard here? Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Palestine should exist too as an independent state, and I hope to see the country thrive.
Oh yeah, let me read this. Palestine. See, this is what I'm saying. Like Nas Daily cares about Palestinians. He's an
No.
Israel. Nas Daily is an Israeli who
No.
wants Israel to be a country,
No.
but he also wants Palestine to be a country.
Mm-mm.
You know, the greatest supporters of Palestinian lives, right? Because we say Palestinian lives because we care about this world. We care about life. They care about death. They don't care about Palestinian lives. They say they love death. They themselves say they love death more than life. So obviously, the people. Let me make this clear. The people who say that we love death more than you love life, they cannot be the ones who care about Palestinian lives, because a condition for you to care about Palestinian lives is for you to care about life.
Oh. Oh wow, that's a really good point. Yeah.
It's Palestinian lives matter for people that life matters for them. Right?
Wow.
So,
That's oof. But again, there's not like video or anything of somebody saying like we care about death more than you care about life, right? That doesn't exist.
I mean, they brag about that. They brag about it all the time. You know, I mean, that's a fundamental part of Islam. But look at this. Palestine should exist too as an independent state. Every time I see over and over and over again, people who support Israel are the main people who support Palestine. Because we want Israel to continue to be able to exist and be able to defend itself. And we hope for Palestine to one day become a country. That's why we're against Hamas, because Hamas is not for the two-state solution.
Oh.
We are for Palestine. That makes us against Hamas. We are the actual people who want Palestine to be free from Hamas. Free Gaza. Yes, free Gaza from Hamas. And Nas Daily, as an Israeli Arab, as an Israeli Muslim, who supports Israel, also cares about Palestine for it to be an independent state, because that's how you care for Palestinian lives. You have to advocate for the two-state solution. That's how you get the freedom for Palestinians. Unlike Ali Dawa, unlike Muhammad Hijab, who are using Palestinian blood for their anti-Israeli agenda, the people who support Israel, most of them that I've seen at least, support Palestine and support Palestinian lives.
It's almost like one of the big differences between the two ideologies is that one of them at their core has bigotry and hatred and an advocation of genocide, and the other one doesn't. And now I'm sure I'm sure I'm off base there. It's not like Hamas literally has in their founding documents the slaughter of all Jewish people, right? That doesn't exist, does it? Is that in there? Or
it does? It does.
Jesus
I'm sorry.
fucking Christ.
So Damayanti is saying Israel supports two-state solution? Question mark, question mark. I am curious. Well, Dama, Israel is not one entity.
Right.
Israel has many people with it, many different people, many different groups, many different ideologies, many different think tanks, many different parties, and many of them are working toward trying to get towards a two-state solution, which is becoming more and more impossible to get to, and many of them unfortunately are working against it. And that's why we don't, when we say we support Israel and we support Israel's right to defend itself, that doesn't mean that we support every person who is in Israel, and we don't support every single stance and every single party. One reason I am for Israel, I am against the Likud party. I am for Israel and I'm against Netanyahu, because Likud and Netanyahu have been actively working against the two-state solution, right? So again, supporting Israel doesn't mean that you support everything that happens in Israel.
Right.
There are many things about Israel that are amazing and good, and there are many people with bad views in Israel as well. It's not a black and white thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with this.
And become less extreme. You can't make this stuff up, bro. Bro, you cannot. This guy is the definition of a coconut. The definition to be.
Coconut? Why coconut? Oh, wait, coconut. Brown outside, white inside.
Oh, you think that's what he's going for? You think that's what that's really interesting. Yeah. That's interesting.
Like, why?
That's interesting.
What the heck?
You know,
yes.
That's so sad. That's so sad that Ali Dawa says that, right? Because, like, again, it would be really, really shameful if Ali Dawa is like, I don't know, super, super British or something in so many different ways. Because, like, the Brits are often considered pretty super fucking white. And, like, it'd be a shame if Ali Dawa was just, like, caught ever doing something that's just, like, obviously, like, hardcore British or anything. But, yeah, it is. Yes, Unicorn, you are correct. It is another racist remark. That's really, at the end of the day, what it is. We can, like, psychologize it as much as we want, but, like, let's not be cowards. You know, let's not be like Ali Dawa. Let's not be cowards and just call him out for the racist shit that he says. Like, that's so
exactly.
You can't think of anything better, dude. You can't think of anything better to criticize him for. My God.
Yuval is saying, I support Israel, hence I am against the Likud.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Heck yeah, Yuval. Yes, totally, man. Totally.
Right.
Like, see, folks, that's how you can have some nuanced takes here. Like, it is possible. It is possible.
Right.
Become less extreme. So they are extreme for wanting the lands that were stolen back, and they are fighting to defend themselves, and that makes them
No, they're extreme for killing civilians, Alidaba. There's extreme for killing civilians, raping women, and killing children. That's why they're extreme. Jesus Christ, I don't even know why we need to say this.
Right? Is that not obvious? Is that not obvious? That's what Nas Daily is saying. I mean,
I don't know. I don't even know what the hell. Like, this is obvious.
Oh, you cannot. This guy is the definition of a coconut. The definition to become less extreme. So they are extreme for wanting the lands that were stolen back, and they are fighting to defend themselves, and that makes them extreme. And not a single word of calling that state terrorism.
Here's the thing. By the way, the coconut that they use in the animation was not correct. You were supposed to use a brown. The color is not correct.
Well, okay, but so that coconut technically has a husk on it, and if you would peel that back, you would see.
Yeah, but the insult of coconut that the insult of coconut people use is for brown outside, white inside. Right. But here's the thing. Listen one more time.
Less extreme. So they are extreme for wanting the lands that were stolen back, and they are fighting to defend themselves, and that makes them.
So he just endorsed the fighting that Nas Daily was just referring to. Remember, Nas Daily is referring to the fighting on October 7th, which was the killing of civilians. And Ali Dawa just endorsed that. He's like, they're extremists for fighting for blah, blah, blah. So you are saying, am I misreading this? Was this not a justification of what he's describing as fighting was the mass slaughter of Israeli civilians? He He just justified it. He just said that's justified because this is what Nas Daily is referring. I just want people to understand the context here. Nas Daily said these are extremists while talking about the attack on October 7th. And Ali Dawa was saying, are these people extremists for fighting to get their land and blah, blah, blah? That's an endorsement of the attack on October 7th. Am I missing something here?
You know, I really can't think of another reasonable interpretation at the moment. I'm not saying one doesn't exist. I'm not saying one doesn't exist, but I'm saying based on the chronology of when this video came out, based on the events, quote unquote, in broad terms, the events that had happened prior to this tweet by Nas Daily, it's hard to see it much other ways, man. It's hard to see it in any other light other than essentially Ali Dawa condoning and justifying the attacks by Hamas on October 7th. By the way, Armin, just in case you don't know, some people call them freedom fighters.
Oh, yeah.
They're just defending the land that was stolen from them by indiscriminately slaughtering civilians and parading their dead bodies through the streets while taking videos of them celebrating. That's fighting for freedom. That's defending your land that was taken. That's what that is.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Lucifer. Thank you so much, Lucifer, for the super chat. Lucifer saying, I've been struggling and I'm towards Palestinian. I think that's what you're saying. I think Lucifer is leaning towards Palestinian. Okay. By the way, you don't have to be choosing between Israel and Palestine.
Yeah.
Okay. You could be pro-Israel and pro-Palestine at the same time.
Yeah.
You don't
100%.
have to choose, right?
And you can definitely be pro-Palestinian people and pro-Israeli people at the same time. There's absolutely no conflict in that. That's
exactly. So then Lucifer continues saying, however, I don't think Hamas are freedom fighters. A lot of Jew hate in Muslim community to be fakes, I think you mean. I still support AR, so I think Lucifer disagrees with our pro-Israeli take, but he's saying that I still support AR. Will you? I think Lucifer seems to be like trying to figure out what he thinks, which is always very good to not be certain about your position and trying to discover what's the right position. So Lucifer, I appreciate the fact that you're trying to figure things out. I mean, I know, sometimes these seem a lot more complicated, but it's good that you're trying your best to figure out what's the right position to have. As long as we all could come up with wrong conclusions, but as long as we're constantly trying to make sure that we do our best to come up with the right conclusion, that's all we could expect from ourselves, right?
And this is a super complicated issue. Like, that's one of the things I think that really frustrates me. Yeah, not all of it. Yeah, totally agree with that. Not all of it. There's some of it that seeming
the Hamas being evil part that's pretty straightforward.
That's not difficult.
Which parts of what IDF does is justified and doesn't. That's pretty complicated.
Right.
Evaluating every single one of them, that's complicated. Yeah.
The not siding with Hamas part should be the super easy one.
Pretty straightforward. That should be pretty straightforward. If you don't get that part right, that's like so the obvious part you got right. Okay, so the other parts that you're struggling with, that's complicated. So then Lucifer says, will you dissect, I think you're trying to say, dissect part 2 interview with Bassem and Piers? Yeah, maybe I'll look into it. Maybe we'll do that. If it's not long, because look, we're taking 2 hours to
for a 5-minute. I mean, but Ali Dawa says some really dumb stuff. Like, it takes that long. See, this is the problem, you guys. Misinformation and stupidity moves faster than like truth and critical thought, because it takes so long to explain how stupid the 5-minute take is from Ali Dawa. It takes 2 hours to go, hey man, this is why this is dumb. Like, this is, demonstrably
we're not gonna do that interview. That's a 2-hour interview.
That'll take us like a full day, you guys.
Oh no, a week, I think.
A week.
Yeah. Yuval is saying, this is a very interesting point by Yuval. In principle, a person fighting for freedom can be a terrorist at the same time. Technically true. Technically true. However, I wouldn't still call them a freedom fighter, because freedom fighter has a positive term.
I think that's fair
is a
too.
negative term.
Yeah,
but technically, you're right. However, not with Hamas.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it would still, even if a terrorist group are freedom fighters, I think it's irresponsible to call them freedom fighters.
I agree.
However, Yuval is correct. That is technically true, but not for Hamas, because as Yuval is pointing out, Hamas, however, doesn't even fight for a free society of any kind. Exactly true. There are other terrorist groups that are technically freedom fighters, but Hamas clearly says itself that it's not fighting for freedom.
There you
Hamas
go.
itself technically says that we don't even fight for the land. We're not fighting for Palestinians. They said themselves that they will sacrifice Palestinians if they have to. This is a religious duty. They're not fighting for freedom. They're fighting for killing Jewish people. They're fighting for killing Israelis. They're fighting for Allah. They're fighting for dying themselves even.
Again, and we're not saying this.
They're fighting for all of these things and not freedom. And technically, they're happy that Palestinians are not free. They have time and time again, when Palestinians were close to becoming free and having their own state, stopped Palestinians from being free because they want this war to continue, because this is an opportunity for them to fight. So they're not, unlike some other terrorist groups, they're not even freedom fighters.
Right. And again, just in case you're concerned, this is Zionist propaganda. I mean, you saw us willingly take shekels earlier in this video, folks. And just in case you're concerned that Armin and I are misrepresenting the situation, please feel free to go look up the videos Hamas took and uploaded themselves. Listen to them.
Exactly.
Listen to them tell you what they feel.
Yeah, me and Secular Rarity are reviewing those on the Secular Jihadist channel.
Go watch.
So just go on the Secular Jihadist channel and make sure you subscribe to that, because we're going to dissect those videos on that channel. Yeah.
Bro, this guy is the definition of a coconut. The definition to become less extreme. So they are extreme for wanting the lands that were stolen back, and they are fighting to defend themselves, and that makes them extreme. And
by the way, the land was not stolen. Just quickly want to put that out there.
Not a single word of calling that state terrorism. No. And I hope to see the country thrive and become less extreme and more prosperous. I love Palestine. I have invested in Palestine. You are a coward, bruv. You are a coward. Go invest in your...
You know what? Do you know other insults?
So it's not my home. So from today onwards, he goes, I view myself as an Israeli Palestinian. Israel first, Palestinian second.
Oh, wait. Let's read this. So the rest of the post, I think it's a Facebook post. Look, it got 6 million views. He's huge on Facebook.
That's a lot.
So it's Palestine should exist too as an independent state. Yeah, and I hope to see the country thrive and become less extreme and more prosperous. I love Palestine and have invested in Palestine, but it's not my home. So from today forward, I view myself as an Israeli Palestinian. Israeli first, Palestinian second. Sometimes it takes a shock like this to see so clearly.
Wow.
I mean, technically, he's right. He's an Israeli citizen. Of course, he's Israeli first. No, I mean, this is obvious.
In Palestine, you are a coward, bruv. You are a coward. Go invest in your soul. It's not my home. Okay, so from today onwards, he goes,
Stop. This just, once again, it's not the most important thing, but I think it's still important to point out just truly the lack of critical thought that Ali Dawa puts into anything. The quote there from Nas Daily is, I love Palestine and have invested in Palestine. And Ali's response to that is go invest in your soul. I just want to show
I didn't
you
notice
guys that.
that.
Yeah, rewind it. Rewind it.
Wait,
Listen to him say it
I
again.
didn't.
Because I thought the first time he said, I invested in Israel, because at least that would make more sense. But literally it says, I love Palestine and invested in Palestine. And Ollie's response is, go invest in your soul. It's just really important to show how very bad his takes are.
Is Ali Dawa listening to me from the past to prove my points for me?
I don't know.
Because I keep telling you that these people are invested in death, in afterlife, rather than this world. Look at Nas Daily, who is a supporter of Israel and an Israeli, who's proud Israeli, has invested in Palestine.
Right.
Something that actually improves Palestinian lives, as in before death, as in this world. Right? Ali Dawa says, don't do that. Invest in death. By the way, I want people to translate afterlife to death, because that's what it means.
That's what it means.
When Muslims tell you we choose akhirah over the dunya, which means the afterlife over this life, what that translates to is we choose death over life. And when he says invest in your soul, meaning the next world, meaning your afterlife, rather than invest in Palestine, means invest in death rather than improving Palestinian lives, which Nas Daily represents, bettering Palestinian lives, which Ali Dawa wants to refocus that attention again to death, because Islam is a death cult.
And more prosperous. I love Palestine. And I've invested in Palestine. You are a coward, bruv. You are a coward. Go invest in your soul. It's not my.
Exactly.
Don't
invest in Palestine, guys.
Don't invest in Palestine. Don't invest in your soul.
Don't do the actual things that improves Palestinian lives.
Yep.
Yeah. By the way, this is a good moment to mention that Israeli government was came up with a project to improve Palestinian lives because a major reason why we have so much radicalism in Gaza is, other than religion, is poverty, right? So there are many people in Israel, either for humanitarian reasons or for de-radicalization reasons, want to improve the quality of life in Gaza, right? So they have a program that gives work permits to Palestinians in Gaza to come to Israel to make money and take that money into Gaza so that they could improve Palestinian lives. And now, unfortunately, because of this attack, that program is halted, and I don't know if it's going to come back. There were every day, there were 18,000 people from Palestine that from Gaza, that came into Israel, made money, and took that money back to Gaza and improved the economy there.
Yeah. One of the most.
And now because of Hamas attack, these people are not doing that, and all of that has stopped. The money that was being spent on these people taking care of their family, all of that has stopped. And this program was trying to every year they were increasing the number of Palestinians that they were giving work permits to, so that they could increase economic activity in Gaza. And now all of that has stopped. So who is anti-Palestinian? All of this work has stopped. This work that started in Israel because of Hamas. It's Hamas that ruins Palestinian lives.
Yep. One of the most direct and tangible things, improving average individual Palestinian lives on a moment-to-moment basis. Something that Israel is for and Hamas is against. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. And don't forget that story.
Well, not everyone in Israel.
Well, of course, not everyone in Israel, but that's a policy by the Israeli government. There's no policy like that by Hamas, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Don't forget that story Susanna highlighted. I think it was on the most recent news, where there was an Israeli business owner who was part of that program, who was the unfortunate family member of somebody whose life was taken by terror.
His daughter
was killed in the October 7th attacks. And what did he say? He said he's still going to hire Palestinians. Don't forget that stuff. Don't forget that stuff, you guys. Don't forget that. Because, again, Some people like Ali Dawa want to just casually say, they're freedom fighters. As some people call them that. They just want to equate the two. There's no equation. There's absolutely no equal level to this scale. Do not forget that.
So that Israeli citizen, even though he had his daughter killed by Hamas, he still wants to invest in Palestine and improve Palestinian lives. Ali Dawa, though, wants you to invest in your soul instead. Tell me who's more Tell me who is more pro-Palestine here.
It's not us saying that.
Tell me
him.
who's more Yeah. I mean, look at this. Ali Dawa in this video calls Nas Daily a hypocrite for not caring about Palestinian lives. However, Nas Daily is investing in Palestine. Ali Dawa is telling you not to and invest in your soul instead. Among these two people, Ali Dawa and Nas Daily, who's more pro-Palestinian? Whose strategy and thinking process actually takes Palestinians out of poverty and gives them a better life? I'm telling you, the people who are pro-Israel are more likely to be better for Palestinians. They are better at being pro-Palestine. The people who say, I stand with Palestine, they are the biggest curse upon Palestinians.
All right, we got a minute
so
left.
from today onwards, he goes, I view myself as an Israeli Palestinian. Israel first, Palestinian second. You are a munafiq first and a scum second, and then a third, you're an Israeli. So it's very clear, guys, that subhanAllah, these people, these sellouts, this coward, wallahi, if you see this individual, just look at his face and say, shame on you, you coward. You sold yourself for
So he's now advocating, just real quick, Armin, just real quick. I just think it's really important to point this out to YouTube and all of the moderators that are doing such a phenomenal job of holding people to the terms of service. Once again, YouTube, you have a creator on your platform that you pay regularly who has outright called for not only assault by himself on another creator, but has now called on his audience to harass an individual. That's what you've got. You've got Ali Dawa explicitly saying at one point that he will assault Nas Daily if he sees him in public. And now you've got him telling his followers to harass him, harass Nas Daily in public. That's what you've got, YouTube. Feel good about that. Feel good about that. You can join Facebook in being one of the social media companies that helps perpetuate violence across the world. Congrats. There you go. I'm sorry, but I can't let that go. I can't let that go. This guy has 1 million followers. He's got 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and he just again called for harassment of an individual in person. That's what he did. So if that doesn't violate the terms of service, I don't know what does.
Remind me in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about Pharaoh and Haman, those who sold their own people. Very interestingly, the Bani Israel, they sold their own people. You remind me of them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala swallowed him and all his might and his wealth and everything that you are putting first before your Palestinian brothers and sisters who are going through that. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to destroy your wealth. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you suffer how your Palestinian brothers are suffering. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So now, Ali Dawa, unable to use his words as a big boy and provide logical argumentation as to why Nas is saying bad things or promoting bad things. Instead, Ali Dawa decides to invoke magic and just try to quickly, I don't know, cast a spell on Nas Daily. I pray to Allah that he takes your wealth. Go put your crystals in the frickin' moonlight, bro. Light a candle or two. Why not? It's just this is the rot. This is what happens when you give up your mind to religious thinking and stuff. You think that that's going to be valuable. I'm sorry.
Actually, that reminds me about the fact that the level of harassment Nas Daily is going to get from taking this position, because you can see some of the biggest content creators on YouTube are now calling for harassment on Nas Daily,
Really?
which again makes the coward insult seem very not fair, because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, praying to Allah to make Nas Daily suffer, you asking your followers, this video by Ali Dawa got 400K views so far, 400,000 views so far, and you calling upon them to go and harass them, and Nas Daily knowing how controversial his take is going to be, which again, with your cursing him and you praying to Allah to make him suffer, and you calling upon your followers to go harass him, shines upon in the fact that you cursed him, the fact that you insulted him so many times with coward. Just put that next to each other. I mean, you're showing us how irrelevant your most favorite insult is relative to what Nas Daily now has to face.
This is the thing, is that it's like he debunks himself. Like he
keeps debunking
he
himself.
says one thing and then instantly is fake outraged about something else. That's like, wait, if that's true though, bro, if you really believe that, then how do you believe the first thing you said? He's just he's very unintelligent, Armin. He's very unintelligent. It bums me out.
The people Ali Dawa represents are some of the most violent people in the world. Ali Dawa himself, somebody who brags about how in Islam it's okay to kill people who leave Islam, and being proud of it, right? Yeah. So your community, Ali Dawa, is unfortunately one of the most, if not the most violent community in the world right now as we speak. And Nas Daily knew what he's dealing with. He's very familiar with this, and he still decided to come. What he saw angered him so much that against people like you and the people who you represent, you know, because it's not just that you're a large number, you're also the things that you guys, you know, not all of you guys, I just want to not generalize, many of people within your community are willing to do in defense of their ideology is a step above any other one, right? And Nas Daily knew that, and he still decided to take this position. He could have just let it go. He could have just come and say, you know what, this is here's something that he could have said that a lot of people accepted. You know, this is we should all just be for peace. I hope all the suffering stuff. I'm just saddened to see how horrible, you know, some general anti-war.
Can't really get upset with that.
Something safe. You could have said something that you're like, I'm sad to see all this horrible death. Why can't people just
he could have said he could have just said, hey, look, guys, like, even though I'm you know, an Israeli citizen and I'm Palestinian, honestly, this is a really nuanced thing, and I don't really even know where I stand.
No,
he could have said that.
No, that would get a backlash. That would get a backlash. The safest position would just be like, oh, things are horrible. I wish things were better. You know, and a more poetic version of like how horrible things are. Why can't we all just live in peace? You know? Right. That would be a very template, you know, response to a horrible situation when you don't want to take a side and you don't want to stand for anything very strongly. You just throw that out there and people will be like, yes, why not peace? Why not kumbaya? Why can't we just live happy? You know, so that would be the thing. But no, he decided to actually take a position that is controversial, that will obviously get a backlash. He decided to stand for something. You know, Ali Dawa, the quote that you had at the beginning of the show, at the beginning of your video, that said like people who stand for nothing. This obviously does not represent Nas Daily, because he could have taken the easy way out, but he decided to stand for something.
Coward.
So, coward, apparently. Yeah. Okay.
In your life, may he make you suffer like a dog. And
what disgusting! How I'm trying to not to say something that people would interpret the wrong way.
No, it's pretty fucking gross what's going on here.
But how disgusting do you have to be
Yes.
to pray to? What religion do you have? What God do you
Yes.
have? I mean, when you pray to your God and you ask for God to make somebody suffer like a dog, look at look at
to
this.
destroy your wealth. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you suffer how your Palestinian brothers are suffering. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put no barakah in your life. May He make you suffer like a dog, and inshallah you turn to
suffer like a dog. I like how he just, you know, at the beginning of the show,
he talked about
he kind of tried to.
He didn't really make a point there, but yeah, he brought up dogs. Yeah.
No, but like the stereotype that Muslims are, you know, anti-dog stuff. He tries to like tone that down away a little bit. But now we see your, you know, when you're actually showing us your true colors, the way you truly feel. But again, I just want you guys to remember, when you pray to your God and you ask your God to make somebody suffer like a dog, that tells you almost most of what you need to know about what kind of a person that he is that prays something like that, what kind of religion that religion is, what kind of God that God is. There, you don't need to know much else. You don't need to hear much more about that person. When their prayer, I mean, they're not just revealing their own true nature, they're also revealing the nature of their religion.
Yeah.
When you pray to a God to make somebody suffer like a dog.
We in the ex-Christian kind of space, because I was raised in Christianity, because the Christians have this real big fetish for talking about how much they love everybody and how they're so loving and compassionate. You know, they go around. There's actually a song we used to sing. There's a Christian hymn that says, "And they will know we are Christians by our love." Yes, by our love, they will know that we are Christians. And for those of us here that have hung out at Atheist Republic a little bit, we kind of know why that's a bit ironic, considering the Christians tend to be some of the groups that are pushing the most hateful ideologies out there. But here it is again, folks. Here it is again. There is no hate. There is no true, deeply rooted, despicable hatred like religious love, because that's what's on display here. Now, we don't believe this magic spell is going to work, right? Like we're not religious. We don't believe in this silliness, but Ali does. He believes that the sustainer of the universe will listen to him and cause immense suffering on somebody that Ali Dawa disagrees with. So yeah, you think about which side you want to be on. Do you want to be on the side of the individual who struggles with their identity for years, who critically thinks about this nuanced position and comes to a place where they say, I genuinely want Palestinian and Israeli lives to tangibly be better right here, right now? Do you want to be on that side? Or do you want to be on the side of the individual that literally prays for suffering on others? It's your choice. So.
Yeah. By the way, Nasrin is using a super chat from Sweden, thanking me and Secular Rarity. Secular Rarity, thank you so much, Nasrin. Thank you, Nasrin. But here, let me actually hold on.
Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make you suffer how your Palestinian brothers are suffering. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put no barakah in your life. May He make you suffer like a dog, and inshallah.
I just also want you to know what's happening here, because I think a lot of people who are not familiar with religious communities might not understand. What you're also saying, like the level of intensity and hate that he's displaying here is not just, you know, what I think is not just the fact, it's not only because he hates somebody like Nas Daily. It's also a demonstration. It's a signal. It's a virtue signal. It's a competition on who hates Israeli supporters the most, because this is a show for the audience. You have to demonstrate the most level of disgust and hatred, and the demonstration of hatred is supposed to be applauded by your audience. So this is a virtue signal. When you guys say, "Oh my God, this person is disgusting. How could you have so much hate?" You don't understand. Islam turns this level of hatred into a virtue, and you have to signal that to your audience. Yes, exactly. It's a total virtue signal. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. Yeah, I also Damayanti real quick. I just think also brings up a good point. Why is he in a trail? Like, why did he choose this location? It's very confusing. It's like really peaceful and serene in the background, and then he's just like a furious asshole up front. It's confusing.
Yeah.
But,
you turn to Islam and fix your ways, inshallah, and repent for what you've done. You flipping utter coward. I hope to God I see you face to face one day, inshallah, so I can see these words to your face. You are an absolute coward. No backbone. Shame on you. You're a little weasel. That's all I have to say to you. May Allah deal with people like you. Brothers and sisters, support your Palestinian brothers and sisters wherever they are. The link is in the description box below, inshallah.
He spends the entire time.
Wait.
Let him finish.
Shame on you. You're a little weasel. That's all I have to say to you. May Allah deal with people like you. Brothers and sisters, support your Palestinian brothers and sisters wherever they are. The link is in the description box below, inshallah. And by the way, pertaining to the dog, we're allowed to pat dogs. And yes, it did lick my finger, which I would have to watch, as the Prophet ﷺ described us. You can't.
Okay, wow. Oh my God. You guys, look, seriously. I know some people look at Armin and I and they think, you guys are just trying your hardest to just find really low-hanging fruit of really, really stupid stuff. And again, Ali Dawa is the largest Muslim YouTube content creator out there in English, right? Like he is, okay? And after that whole freaking video, just to make sure that he didn't upset Sky Daddy real quick, he was like, oh, by the way, you guys, just want to let you know, like, dogs aren't like that haram. Like, they're not exactly halal. Like, I'm going to wash my hands later. Don't you worry. Like, it's just so stupid. It's just so stupid. He takes more time in that video. He takes more time in that video to talk about the freaking dog that he doesn't really connect to anything than he does actual Palestinian deaths, Armin. Like, it's so telling how much of a terrible person you would have. It just, I get frustrated. And it's like,
I know.
He's really bad, man. He's really, really bad at what he does. It's like, he's very dumb. He's very, very dumb. And it's just like, even when he does make a point, it demonstrates the exact opposite of what he's going for. Why is he popular? Like, why is he popular? I just don't understand.
Well, I mean, I think being dumb helps because you can relate to him more. Yeah. I mean,
that's fair. That's fair. Not our audience, though, which is why they come here, because they are critical thinkers, but probably cowards. You know, they're probably cowards. Just like, I can't.
You coward!
You coward! You never had an identity. You coward!
I'm struggling with my identity. I don't know. You coward! You don't even have an identity.
That's really the best out of all of this. That is the best thing. Like,
okay.
Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it, you guys. I don't get it.
I think he's channeling Muhammad Hijab. I keep thinking why
he's trying to be a strong man like that. Yeah.
Because I think Muhammad Hijab calls people coward, and people love it when he does it because he does it very aggressively, and he seems very alpha when he does that.
Yeah.
At least Muhammad Hijab, when he does that, it makes sense. Muhammad Hijab is smarter than Ali Dawa, and when he calls people coward, it's actually somewhat, I mean, I don't agree with him, but it makes sense why he would call them a coward. But a lot of people like the way he calls them a coward. And I think Ali Dawa is just trying to like, oh, that sounds pretty aggressive and alpha. So now, I'm just going to keep saying coward to people. Okay. But when he uses it, it actually doesn't make sense. I think he's just trying to channel his Muhammad Hijab. That's what
I see that. Here's my only possible problem, okay? My only problem is that, like, for instance, Muhammad Hijab acting like that, saying that, right? If he was ever invited onto somebody's show where he was with the person in, you know, physically in person, right? Like Muhammad Hijab would act like that, right? Like he would say, like, he would do that same thing. He wouldn't like stutter and make himself look weak by his own definition. He wouldn't do anything like that, right? Like we don't have video evidence of this. Oh no, wait. Muhammad Hijab was on Piers Morgan not long ago. Yeah. He didn't act like that when he was there with Piers. It's weird. I'm sure he forgot. I'm sure he just forgot. I'm sure that's what it was.
He's
had
tougher when he's tougher when he's by himself.
That's what it is. That's a real strong man thing.
Yeah. By the way, guys, I used a lot of controversial words here, and I think Secular Rarity.
Oh, I said some bad words.
Yeah. We both use bad words, so we need you to like the stream, because you know we're not popular Islamic channels with like a lot of sheep just following whatever we say, because we're just so it's harder for channels like us to grow. So we need your help. We need you guys to like this stream. We need you guys to recommend our stream, our channel, and our shows to as many people as possible. If you think we're adding any level of education or information or entertainment that is worth, having more of, we do rely on your support. We do need you to like the stream and leave comments after the stream is over, and for you to recommend, and also make sure you subscribe. If you're not, I don't even say that. You just watched 2 hours of our show. You need to subscribe. Obviously, we have good content.
Coward. How are you not subscribed?
Coward.
Like this video, you coward.
It's cowards.
That's what we're going to do from now on. That's what we're going to do from now on.
Yeah. We should do that. You wanted to, but guys, before you leave, Elliot, you wanted to mention something?
Oh yeah. So some of you may know, some of you may not, but that's okay. There is a weekly.
No, you should know. You coward! Why do you say you should know? What do you mean? If that's okay, that's not okay. But go ahead.
There is a call-in show that happens every Sunday at 4:30 p.m. U.S. Central Time, okay? And it is actually the longest running call-in show for atheists in the world. And it's called The Atheist Experience. And both myself and you, Armin, actually,
you're right,
are going to be hosting The Atheist Experience this Sunday, November 5th, we are going to be on the show together. So everybody needs to come and show some support. Come to the live chat, show up our Atheist Republic army. Come in there and just be like, we love these guys. They're awesome. Or call us cowards. Actually, you know what? Show up in the live
Yes, no, you not support. When you come into the live chat, say you're cowards. That's how we know you came from here. Yeah, that would be our secret, and that would confuse the admins. Yeah, the Atheist Experience people, they will be confused, right? Come support us and call us coward, for maximum confusion. Say, hey, Armin, we love you, you coward, and Secular Rarity as well. We want to confuse the hell out of people. Let's do that. Yeah.
How dare you? How dare you support critical thinking and the separation of religion and government? You coward! You coward!
Yes. So
do it. Come hang with us, y'all.
Do it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Let's do that. All right. So let's end the stream, and also let's do it.
Hang on, real quick before we do. Just I saw this real quick. Nasrin gave us some more. Okay. I feel ill because how people buy this garbage. Yeah, we're with you. It doesn't make any sense to me. Either. Yeah. Didn't make any sense to me.
I'm glad you noticed that. Oh my god, I was almost Nasrin. I don't want to make Nasrin upset because I know she loves our show. Thank you, Nasrin. Anyways, guys, again, don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends. And there you go, you get that.
Until next time.
Next week. Yeah, next time. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
I almost fell off my chair.
I'll never.
I'll get another super chat.
Oh, one more.
For all the cowards.
cowards.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I literally almost fell off. One day I'm gonna fall off. Thank you, Unicorn.
You coward! You're never sitting on a chair before.